Does the very thought of mathematics send shivers down your spine? It's a familiar feeling for many, isn't it? An equation appears on the blackboard and suddenly the room feels a bit colder, hearts pound a little faster, and for some, panic sets in. It's a phenomenon not limited to a single classroom or country. In fact, it's a global issue, and today we're going to focus on one country in particular, Brazil. In Brazil, mathematics is often seen as a daunting mountain, steep and treacherous. It's not just an abstract fear, but one that's reflected in cold, hard data. Brazilian students' performance in international assessments paints a stark picture. When it comes to mathematics, Brazil often finds itself in less than favorable positions. But why is this so? Well, the reasons are as varied as they are complex. Some point to the way the subject is taught, others to the lack of resources, and many argue it's a combination of the two. But there's one common thread that seems to run through all these discussions: the lack of interest. Interest, or rather the lack of it, is a significant hurdle in the learning process. When students find a subject uninteresting, they are less likely to engage with it. And mathematics, with its formulas and equations, often gets a bad rap. It's seen as dry, rigid, and dare we say, boring. But what if we told you that there was a different approach? An approach that made mathematics not just palatable, but enjoyable. Think it's impossible? Well, it's not. In fact, there was one man in Brazil who made it his life's mission to do just that. His name was Julio Cesar de Mello e Souza, but you might know him better by his pen name, Malba Tahan. This man turned mathematics into a thrilling adventure, and in the process, changed the way countless Brazilians look at the subject. But what if we told you there existed a man who made mathematics not only comfortable, but also enjoyable? Stay tuned to find out more about this remarkable individual. Meet Malba Tahan, or should we say Julio Cesar de Mello e Souza. An enigmatic figure, often mistaken for a fictitious Arabian mathematician, he was, in reality, a man born in the beautiful coastal city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in the year 1895. A fascinating character he chose to write under the pseudonym of Malba Tahan, a name that would soon become synonymous with mathematical storytelling. Julio Cesar de Mello e Souza, or Malba Tahan, was not just a man of letters, but a man of numbers. He was a professor emeritus at two esteemed Brazilian institutions, the National Faculty of Architecture and the D. Pedro II School. As a professor, he was known for his unique approach to teaching, one that combined the magic of storytelling with the logic of mathematics. He believed in the wonder of exploration, the thrill of discovery, and the joy of understanding. It was this belief that led him to a remarkable career, not just as a professor, but as an author. He was the man behind 120 books, a staggering number that bears testament to his prolific writing. His books spanned various genres, from recreational mathematics and math education to children's literature and the history of mathematics. With a total circulation exceeding 2 million copies, his books have left an indelible mark on the world of mathematical literature. But teaching wasn't his only passion. He had a knack for telling stories, especially through the lens of mathematics. His tales were not just about numbers and equations, but about people, cultures, and the world. Through his stories, he showed that mathematics is not just a subject, but a language, a way of understanding the world around us. And in the next scene, we'll dive deeper into his most famous work, The Man Who Counted, a book that beautifully encapsulates his unique approach to mathematics. So stay tuned as we journey into the world of Malba Tahan, a world where numbers come to life and stories unfold. Imagine a world where mathematics is woven into the very fabric of stories. This was precisely the world that Malba Tahan, or Julio Cesar de Mello e Souza, as he was known in his everyday life, created with his literary contributions. He was more than just a mathematician. He was a storyteller, a raconteur who brought numbers to life in a manner that was both engaging and enlightening. Tahan's literary portfolio is as expansive as it is diverse. With a staggering 120 books to his name, his oeuvre spanned several genres, each one a testament to his love for mathematics and his desire to make the subject more accessible to all. A significant portion of Tahan's work was dedicated to recreational mathematics. These books were not your typical textbooks filled with equations and theorems. Instead, they were brimming with puzzles, riddles, and games, all designed around mathematical principles. They were about finding the fun in figures and equations, about showing that math could be a source of enjoyment rather than just a subject of study. In addition to recreational mathematics, Tahan also penned numerous books on math education. He was acutely aware of the apprehension many students felt towards the subject and sought to change this through his writings. His books on math education were not merely instructional, they were also inspirational, encouraging readers to explore the subject with a sense of curiosity and wonder. Tahan's interest in mathematics extended beyond its applications and into its history. He authored several books on the history of mathematics, tracing the evolution of the subject from its earliest origins to its modern manifestations. These works were an attempt to humanize mathematics, to show that it was not just a cold, impersonal subject, but a living, evolving discipline shaped by centuries of human thought and innovation. But perhaps the most enduring aspect of Tahan's literary contributions lies in his children's literature. He believed that the best way to foster a love for mathematics was to start young, and so he wrote numerous children's books that combined storytelling with mathematical concepts. These books were not just entertaining, they were also educational, introducing young readers to the world of mathematics in a manner that was both engaging and accessible. The popularity of Tahan's books is evident in their circulation numbers. With over 2 million copies in print, his works have reached a wide audience, capturing the imagination of readers both young and old. They have been translated into various languages, further extending their reach and influence. Among his many works, one stands out, A Tale of an Arab Man Wandering in a Desert. This book, The Man Who Counted, is perhaps the most famous of Tahan's creations, a testament to his unique ability to weave mathematics into the very fabric of storytelling. The Man Who Counted, a tale of mathematics, culture, and problem-solving. This is how we can best describe Malba Tahan's most renowned work. It's a story that transports us to the Middle Eastern desert, where we follow the adventures of a curious Arab man. But he's not just any man, he's a mathematician, and he employs his mathematical prowess to tackle problems steeped in his people's culture. The book's protagonist, Baramiz Samir, is a man of humble origins who discovered his extraordinary affinity for numbers while tending sheep. His innate ability to see patterns and solve problems through mathematics led him on a journey filled with intriguing encounters and challenging dilemmas. Throughout his journey, Baramiz uses mathematics to solve a myriad of problems, from settling disputes to impressing kings. For instance, in one of the stories, he resolves a quarrel between 3 brothers over the inheritance of their father's 17 camels. Baramiz's solution, both simple and ingenious, leaves the brothers stunned and us, the readers, marveling at the power of mathematical thinking. What's remarkable about The Man Who Counted is that it isn't just a story about numbers and equations. It's a story that shows how mathematics can be used to navigate the complexities of life, how it can bring order to chaos, and how it serves as a universal language that transcends cultural boundaries. This intriguing narrative earned The Man Who Counted the recognition of the Brazilian Academy of Letters in 1972. The book's popularity didn't stop at the borders of Brazil. It has been translated into numerous languages, reaching readers across the globe and proving that the language of numbers knows no boundaries. Through this story, Malba Tahan painted a picture of mathematics as a universal language, a tool for solving real-world problems. He showed us that mathematics is not something to be feared, but rather, it's a fascinating field of study that can offer solutions in the most unexpected of places. So, why does Malba Tahan matter in the world of mathematics? You might ask. Well, let's bring it all together. Malba Tahan, or Julio Cesar de Mello e Souza, was not just a mathematician, he was a storyteller. He found a unique way to break down the barriers of math aversion among students by weaving mathematics into captivating tales. His approach was not just about teaching numbers, it was about creating a world where numbers came alive, where they became characters in a story. Across his life, Tahan penned around 120 books, reaching over 2 million readers. He made math accessible, interesting, and fun. His most acclaimed work, The Man Who Counted, exemplifies his approach, using an engaging narrative to introduce mathematical concepts. This innovative approach has left an indelible mark on the world of math education. Malba Tahan not only taught mathematics, he created a world where math was a fascinating journey of discovery, a world where numbers told stories.